Relationships are hard. I love Joe with all my heart, but we go through very challenging moments. Hi, I'm Kate, and this is Dream With Us, a channel dedicated to planning for your next chapter in life by staying motivated, inspired, but most of all, learning how to communicate effectively in your relationships so that you can dream as big as you want. In my last video, I talked about meeting Joe. But the moral of that story was be open to connection. How did I get there? After a 14-year failed marriage, after being in a marriage that led to the both of us being incredibly destructive towards each other, how did I transform my life into a person who was so angry all the time and resentful and unable to communicate to a person that found somebody completely the opposite of not only everything that I had experienced in that marriage, but what I grew up with? If you are anything like me, you hold negative thoughts like an accumulating bank account that never pays out. And I want you to work towards draining that bank account of all those negative thoughts, releasing each and every one of them, and recognize that it's in your past and now is your future. And it is important to communicate clearly in the present moment. First, you need to get intentional about your part in your relationship. It's not just the other person's fault. You can always trace it back to that moment that you decided to be silent, that you decided not to speak up for yourself, that you did not value your feelings or your needs or your wants in a relationship. And that grew into resentment, anger, and distrust. So you have an opportunity. If you are freshly divorced and looking for a relationship again and really don't want to end up divorced again, or you're in a relationship and you are finding yourself more and more disconnected year after year. I believe as women, where we think that we know what the partner needs or wants, we generalize oftentimes men on how they feel or interact with us. Um, and that generalization, that inability to see each other as our whole selves, can be really damaging over time. If you feel like you are struggling to communicate with your partner, I want you to just do some simple things. First, if this is a partner that is new, what I would do is I would mentally say in my head, I am speaking to Joe. I am not speaking to my past. Once again, I want you to know that you are speaking directly to the person in front of you and not your past. If you have any lingering resentments towards your partner, this is not the moment to bring it up. The moment to bring it up is when you are calm and you are no longer stressed or overwhelmed or feeling all those negative thoughts. It is important for you to state, listen, a lot of old thoughts are coming up in my head, and it's not you. I'm struggling with this at this moment, and I'm working towards that. Your actions reminded me of that moment in my past. And I want you to recognize that those actions speak volumes to me. So, if you are coming into a hard conversation or you're learning to communicate with your partner openly and honestly, it is so important to be in the present moment, to remind yourself, secondly, that you love this person. They are not holding you captive in this relationship. They are not demanding you to stay. They want you to stay because they love you. And you are loved and you are lovable. And most of all, you are enough in this relationship. You are enough. You are allowed to feel your feelings. You are allowed to feel anxious in this moment. But be aware that maybe you are holding on to old limiting thoughts. Thoughts that taught you that you are not enough, that you have to go above and beyond to be loved, that you need to look a certain way, you need to behave a certain way to be loved. And that is not true. You are loved as your whole person. So stay present. Trust that the person that stands in front of you loves you and cares about you. And if you know that they don't love you and they are purposely trying to hurt you, it's time to walk away and let go of them with love. Because if you can let go with love, you are stating in your heart that I know that I am not the right person for you and you are not the right person for me. And I want you to find love in your life. I want you to feel love and respect and dignity throughout your entire day, every day for the rest of your life. And if we keep going down this path, we will never be loved fully as who we really deserve to be. But it is important to always recognize that you do these little tiny things throughout your day. If someone makes you a meal, you say thank you. If somebody embraces you, you say I love you. And communication gets easier and easier. But the best thing that you can do is to remind yourself that what you're feeling is valuable to you and your relationship. If you hold that in, if you hide it from your partner, it will erode your relationship. It is so important to be honest and open throughout your day. And it's so important to start getting intentional about how you're going to communicate and visualize your next chapter in life. So, like I was saying, I came from a nasty divorce to a open, honest, communicative relationship. And I was very intentional about making sure that I felt like I could communicate clearly and effectively with whoever I ended up with. And thankfully, that was Joe. So, if you want to learn more about this journey on going from not knowing how to communicate, being kind of angry all the time, to having a loving, open, beautiful relationship that has stood the test of time, keep watching. Watch all of our videos and comment on them, subscribe.